Hello and welcome back, my friends, to another video. In this video, it's the start of a new project. We have a blank slate before us, in which I'm going to be doing something which I've been wanting to do for a while. This tank has been sitting here, neglected, in a very, very poor state, full of blackbeard algae, no fish inside of it, has a filter running on it, just doing nothing. Absolute waste of time. So I decided to do some fresh water in it, because I've got enough salt water at the moment, trying to do a little bit of fresh water in my shed. And what we're going to do in here is a massive shrimp tank. Now, I have got a small shrimp tank, 30 litres, and I've kind of got the bug a little bit with the shrimps, and that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to skip all the intermediate steps of shrimp keeping and just go as big as I can straight away. So this tank is a 4 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot. It's not brand new. I've had this tank for a while, and now we're going to use it as a shrimp tank. Now, I have marked this video as a paid promotion, but please be aware I have not received any money for this video. It's a project I was going to do anyway, but what I did do is I reached out to JBL because I really like JBL's stuff. I thought I'd like to use JBL. Maybe if I ask nicely, they'll send me something. And by golly, did they send me something. They sent me a lot more than I was expecting. So thanks very much for JBL. I was going to use this substrate and stuff anyway, so had they not sent it to me, I would have bought it, simply because I really like it, and it's very, very good for plants, and it's excellent for shrimps as well, just on the way that this substrate works. I'll probably look at this substrate in depth in another video, as to not make this video longer than it needs to be. But basically, you've got the Aquabasis, so that goes underneath your main substrate, and that's where all the nutrients comes from. It's basically an aqua soil, has all the good stuff in it. And then over the top you put the Manado, so that's like a gravel, but it's a special gravel designed for a bit of bio media, but also when it's in your tank it will absorb and release nutrients as and when the plants need it, and also it's ideal for plants to root into. So that's why I've chosen these particular substrates, because in this tank we want it to be reasonably well planted. And also for our main sort of rock work, I have bought 50 kilos of black lava rock. Now, I got this off of eBay. It's so much cheaper on eBay than it is in the shops. I think I paid about £140 for this lump of lava rock, and it is really good lava rock. So what we're going to do with the lava rock is use it as the main filtration of this tank. We're also going to use a bubble filter, because we're keeping shrimps in here, and really it's only going to be shrimps. I'm not really going to be putting any fish in here, maybe some ottos or something like that. We're going to use a sponge filter, and because of how porous lava rock is, you can see how porous it is. It's full of holes, full of surface area. The idea is we're going to use the lava rock a little bit like how we use live rock in a marine tank. So ideally the biofiltration is going to be the lava rock and the substrate, and then we're going to use the sponge filter more just for a bit of water movement and a little bit of mechanical, but mainly just the water movement. And also what this combination of good substrate and rock does is it creates a lot of surface area for that layer of stuff which the shrimps will graze on. So hopefully this combo will do really well for keeping shrimps in here. Today what we're going to do is actually just set up the hardscape, because it's a big enough job. I think that's good enough for one video, and then in the next video we're going to go out and buy some plants. Now, in terms of lighting, I'm not using a aquarium light, if that makes sense. I'm using an Arcadia Jungle Dawn LED bar. Now, this is a vivarium light, but it grows vivarium plants amazingly. And I've also tried this out on my marine tanks to see how it grows green macroalgae. And although it melted the red macroalgae for being too bright, the green macroalgae did really, really well. So what I'm doing here is using a non-aquarium light, because it's a lot cheaper than using a planted aquarium light. And these things have got amazing reviews online for for growing vivarium plants. So there's no real difference in needs between a vivarium plant and a freshwater aquarium plant. And I'll just show you the lux reading at the bottom of the tank. So this is a 2 foot deep tank, and also the light's probably another half a foot. So 2.5 feet at the bottom of the tank, the lux is over 5,000. So as well as that, this light has been designed specifically for growing plants, so it's all the right spectrum, it's all the right wavelengths. I don't think we're going to have any issues in this tank when it comes to growing plants. So what I'm going to go and do now is actually just set up the hardscape, install the filtration where I want it. So that's the rock work in. Obviously, I think you can see the theme I'm going for here is big pile of rocks in one corner, and I think I've pulled it off pretty well. So I've got some egg crate underneath the big bulk of rocks here just to stop any pressure points, or at least relieve a little bit of pressure points from the glass. Even though this is quite thick 10mm glass, I really wouldn't want a pressure point and then it just to break later on down the line. And then in the middle of all of that, I've got my filtration, so I can actually access it and get it out again. And hopefully what that will do is that will draw the water through the rocks, and that will then become the biomedia, and it will all work wonderfully well. So the next thing to do is add the substrate. So I'm going to put the bulk of the Aquabasis in this area here, because the idea is to actually have that as a carpet. That'll look really nice, and then we'll put mosses and things over the rock and some other plants which will grow into the rock work. There's quite a few to choose from, so that'll be cool. So let's just get the substrate in and see where we are. So a quick look at the Aquabasis before we put it into the tank. It's a mixture of stuff here, so we've got gravel of different sizes, there's sand in there, bits of clay as well from what I can see. So it's a real mixture of different grades of substrate. It's not just a soil in here, there's all sorts. This is obviously important to root growth because it allows the different nutrients amongst it. It also allows that water flow in the substrate because of these different grades. It doesn't compact as easily. That's one bag of Aquabasis. So actually it's about 1 centimetre there, 1.5 centimetres in the areas that I'm looking to plant, and that's about all I need. So I've got a spare bag of Aquabasis now for my next build after this one. Obviously if you're going to do this tank without the rocks, 2 bags would be about what you need, because this bag has done half the tank. So 5 litres per 2x2 by the looks of it. And now we're going to add the Manado. So this is the Manado substrate that I'm putting over the Aquabasis. It's quite a fine gravel, and you can see it's not round. There are some round substrates that you can get, which are like little balls, which are okay, they do the job, but I prefer this. It's a more natural looking substrate, and you can see actually there's lots of little holes in this. It's quite a porous substrate, which allows that to become like a biomedia, but it also allows this substrate to absorb and release nutrients as and when the plants need it. That is the substrate put in there. I didn't use all those bags actually, I only used 4, so more left over for my next project. And I think it looks quite nice. Obviously I'm not going to be putting water or plants in there today. I'm going to be doing that in the next sort of week or two, because I want to take a trip out to a local plant grower, really pick special things to go in here, because we've got the setup to do that, and we want to make this really special tank. I think it looks quite nice. Actually, I think when the water's in there, the rocks are going to darken up, the substrate is going to darken up. I think I'm going to go for fire yellow neocaradinas in here, so on this dark substrate and dark rocks, they're really going to pop out of here. With all the plants, it's going to look absolutely banging. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, leave a like, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to my channel already. Once again, thanks for watching, and happy fish keeping.